Everybody, my name is Gabriel. I'm a resident of the McAllen, Texas area. And, McAllen, Texas has been rated as a really great place to live. Pretty safe. It's a great place to retire. But it also has the dubious honor of being labeled the most obese city in America. And that is per Wallet Hub. And that has actually been for several years running. I think in the last 10 years, the few times that we weren't number one, it's only because other cities had a higher percentage, not really that we got that much healthier. Now, today specifically, I am going to respond to Jesse James West's video. I've spent 50 hours in the most obese city. Now, if you don't know who Jesse James West is, he is an awesome fitness YouTuber. He has really been taken off. He has collaborated with a lot of other awesome names in the fitness industry. And, he is very entertaining. He puts out really great content. You can tell he puts out a lot of time, effort, and energy. And if you like fitness, if you like being entertained, I definitely suggest that you check him out. Just a little bit about myself before we go ahead and continue. I have lived in the McAllen area pretty much my entire life. So I guess you can subtitle this video. I have spent over 30 years in the most obese city. I am a mortgage loan advisor by trade, but I am an avid fitness enthusiast. I have been training since the age of 5 when I entered martial arts. I was active middle school and on in other sports. And then now that I have 3 wonderful children, I really try and stay in shape so I can keep up with them. It's a lot of fun, being able to work out with them. And now they're at the age where they want to start doing some of the things that I'm doing. And right now, so I'm just a dad just trying to stay in shape. I was once an aspiring stuntman, and I try and still do some of the things that I used to be able to do when I was about 10 years younger. Somebody that likes to see fitness as a privilege. Eating healthy, exercising, working out, getting to move around, that is a privilege. That is a blessing. That is something that I get to do. It is not something that I have to do. Now let's go ahead and get into the video.
Oh yeah, for the next 50 hours, I'm gonna be living and spending every waking moment in the most obese city in America, all to find out if this place is truly as unhealthy as they say it is.
McAllen, Texas is ranked number 1.
So one of the first things I want to say, let's stop right there. That pin is nowhere near where McAllen, Texas is at. That is even further north than the Austin area. So I will tell people I am from South Texas. People will say, you mean San Antonio? No, 3.5 hour drive further south, right before you get to Mexico. That is where we are. We are a border community, and I want to emphasize that because that is mentioned a few times in the video. Our proximity to Mexico does have a big impact in our culture, especially our food. But this map should look more like this.
Listen, boys, we are in the most obese city in America. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't really like the word obese, but I'm gonna be using this as a medical term. What is obesity? It's a disorder involving excessive body fat that increases the risk of health problems. And me being so health conscious and fitness oriented, I had to get to the bottom of it to help as many people as possible by taking it to the most obese city in America.
I'm gonna stop the video right there, and I wanna comment on what Jesse is saying about obesity. So he says he doesn't really like the term, and he is just using it as a medical term. He explains it. It is a condition where you carry excessive body fat, and that in and of itself carries an increased risk for other health problems. Now, this shows to me that he is very aware of how the terms obese and obesity have been taken to be considered quite derogatory by some people, on social media. They take it as an insult. They take it that maybe when people use it, that they are speaking badly, of them. When a fitness or medical professional is using the words obese or obesity, especially in the medical sense, we're not using it in any way, shape, or form to deride the person. We are not trying to question the type of person that they are, their character, their worthiness as a person, nor their ability to be seen as beautiful. It is just a medical term. It is just referencing that they have excessive body fat, and that's it. And I think it's really awesome that Jesse takes the time to, make this distinction.
First, we have to get breakfast to see what this food is all about. Do you know any spots that are unhealthy? That's what I was thinking.
So I asked my Uber to take me to his favorite breakfast spot, and he took me to somewhere called Jitterz Coffee.
How's it going? What is the most unhealthy coffee you have?
I want to say it's probably our blended bro.
They ice cream in the coffee?
Yeah.
Is that like a thing?
Yeah, I want to say instead of like ice, we just put ice cream and then put like espresso and milk in it.
Okay, screw it. Let's go off the deep end today. Can I get the chocolate chip coffee with ice cream in it? I did not expect to have an ice cream coffee and a brownie for my first meal, but you know what? This'll do.
We were off to a quick and unhealthy start of 2,000 calories for breakfast.
The barista there decided that we're gonna go to El Sancho Tex Mex, and that is gonna be.
I had never had the pleasure of going to Jitterz Coffee before watching this video. He definitely piqued my interest, and he had me at ice cream in the coffee. Now, Frappuccino is already bad enough as it is, because you have caffeine and you have everything else that goes into a coffee. It is practically like a milkshake, but when you actually put in the ice cream, then for sure it is just basically a caffeinated milkshake. It was absolutely delicious. I went with what they recommended, which was the Oreo blended coffee. That was the most popular one. And within like 2-3 minutes, I was able to finish it all. And I probably had like 700-800 calories. And it wasn't very filling. It wasn't very satisfying other than the flavor. But hunger-wise, like it didn't do much for me. And if you eat like this, you can definitely very easily, add on the extra calories, which will put you in a caloric surplus, which leads to weight gain.
We met Danny, the owner of El Sancho.
What do you like? I want to eat like a local. Let's do it.
We met Danny by the food truck, and he decided he would cook us brisket enchiladas, a double meat plate with smoked brisket, a side of ribs, and a Grand Sancho taco.
Let's go. Wow. Oh my God. Join me. Take a rib, my man.
I'm really digging Jesse's energy. He was super excited when they told him what they were going to make for him. If you guys have never tried it, authentic Tex-Mex cuisine is absolutely delicious. Even when I lived out in LA, some of my friends were pretty jealous that my wife would make, this really awesome food. And they basically invited themselves over after our first Thanksgiving there because my wife was going to make turkey tacos. And they made it a point to specifically mention how they were going to have that Tex-Mex flavor. So yes, guys, it's delicious food. And when it is that flavorful, you can really just pack it away.
Sweet spot.
Are you inviting me on a date?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, me and my man Danny are going on a date. We're going to Sweets by Kacy. Apparently, this is where you take someone on a first date. Am I right, Danny? Yes, yeah. What I find crazy is that it's like we went in one door, got ice cream coffee, went into another room, got tacos and a bunch of Mexican food, walked around the corner, and now we're getting these sweets.
That's what we call a trifecta.
A trifecta. This is insane.
Jesse was talking about how he thinks it's just pretty crazy how you have these three places such in close proximity to one another. That is how we are pretty much throughout the entire area, guys. These restaurant owners know that we like to eat this way. They know that they can make a lot of money if they have good tasting food because we really like our food. We like to eat. We really do. Here in this area, a lot of us like to eat. So they would not be in existence if there wasn't a demand. And there is more than enough demand for like dozens upon dozens of restaurants with, this type of food, to exist. So he may think it's crazy, but it is just the norm for us over here.
What do you recommend?
I had this the other day and it was the bomb.
Can I let you pick what I get today?
Yeah.
And I'll pay for yours.
No.
Yes. Let's do it. You pick what I get, I'll pay for yours and mine. And then you Venmo me back. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Pumpkin cupcake. Let's get a few things. We're going off the deep end today. So we'll get pumpkin, we'll get a cheesecake. So my question to you is, do you think that it's justified that this town is rated as like number one unhealthy?
We live on the border, so that a lot has to do with it.
Okay.
Our food is, a lot of places are unhealthy because of where
The
we
border.
live. It's our culture.
Good.
Baby, I know.
It's good.
I know that.
Listen, it's better than any other food.
Now, that awesome lady did make a couple of comments about, our culture and that our proximity to the border, our culture does have a lot to do with us being quite unhealthy. So here's a couple of things that I have personally experienced that kind of just back this up. So when I was first a trainer, one of my first clients was in OBGYN. He owned a women's clinic, and he would say that, a lot of the women would gain upwards of like 60 to 80 pounds when they were pregnant. And it was more than what was medically necessary for a healthy mother and a healthy child. And that is because in our culture, if you are pregnant, you are seen that you are eating for two, and you really do need to eat. If you eat too little, you are going to have an unhealthy baby. When the baby is actually born, if your baby is too thin, you are going to get comments from your parents, your grandparents, your aunts, because they're going to say, the baby doesn't look healthy. You need to feed him or her more. Now, like for those of us that do, like to be on a fitness journey, for those of us that like to work out, that are trying to get in shape and stay in shape, we are also going to have loved ones make comments where they are genuinely concerned about our health. So somewhere over here, I am putting a picture of when I was quite lean before the pandemic. And I was about so I'm 6 feet tall, and I was about 195 pounds, maybe 12 to 14% body fat. Now, I don't have Coach Greg Doucette's laser eyes, but I think I was between 12 to 14% body fat. I was pretty strong and athletic, around this point. So here's a clip of like my training around that time. And, so I thought I was looking good. I thought I was getting, in really great shape. And, but according to my grandmas, my awesome, lovely grandmas, they thought that I was too skinny. They thought that I was very unhealthy, to the point that on separate occasions, one time visiting my mom's side of the family, one time visiting my father's side of the family, they took my wife aside, and each of them asked them, what is going on with Gabriel? Like, why isn't eating enough? It was like, mijita, ¿qué pasa con Gabriel? ¿Por qué no come tanto? ¿Por qué está muy flaco? ¿Está enfermo? ¿Por qué no quiere comer? Dale más a comer, por favor. Like, they were asking my wife, was I sick? What's the matter with me? They were asking her, why didn't she feed me enough? Please feed me more. So I find it funny, but that's our culture. This is not unique, to me. This is something that a lot of other people that are, on their fitness journey, that are trying to be in shape, they get these comments from their family. And it's out of love, yes, but the thing is, we are actually healthy. But when you are growing up around that, and you are being told that maybe you aren't healthy because you're a little bit too thin, that is going to weigh on you mentally. And so I would venture to say that there's a lot of people in my area that don't eat as clean or work out as hard as they might otherwise normally would have if it wasn't for their family's genuine concern for their health.
I am eating you. The amount of calories in front of me, it doesn't look like that much, but these portions are absolutely insane. This triple leche, probably 1,200 calories. This cheesecake, probably, dude, it's gotta be 900. This muffin has weight to it. I'm already feeling sick to my stomach, and it's not even eating like this. It's very easy to see how someone might just give up on their diet. The amount of dopamine that I'm getting from eating this is actually dangerous. People that struggle with weight, it's not always that they just don't have self-control, but it's literally like you can't stop yourself from eating sometimes.
So Jesse makes a really good point. This food tastes absolutely delicious, and it will spike your dopamine. You will get a dopamine release, and dopamine is a neurotransmitter that is associated with feeling good. You can get it naturally from engaging in rewarding hard work, relaxing, doing things that maybe relieve your stress. But you can also get quick hits of dopamine from things like social media. And then that's why a lot of us find ourselves doom scrolling, because when we first started going on social media, we got that quick hit of dopamine, and then now we are having that wandering thumb, and we are maybe spending a little bit too long because we're trying to get that hit of dopamine again, and it just doesn't work. This is something that happens very similarly with food. Most of the good tasting food is going to be very high in calories. It's going to make you feel good, and the thing is, you want to eat like that, like every day. So some people, get desserts every day. The percentage of dessert calories that people, consume has gone up quite a bit in the last few decades. So he's making the point that when you are trying to eat healthier, it can be very difficult because not only are you eating less calories, but then you are also having to deal with having less dopamine. Your body craves that.
So we are in the gym right now. We're at Gold's Gym in McAllen. I'm not gonna lie, this gym is absolutely beautiful. There was 2 types of gyms you could go to. There are 2 Gold's gyms, and then there's a bunch of True Fits, which I have never heard of in my entire life. There are no non-commercial gyms in McAllen, so we're just gonna have to make do with this, but honestly, it's very nice here. Now, I know that doing cardio right now is pretty much pointless, but I do feel that my stomach is starting to feel all this food and junk. So I'm gonna try to burn some calorie, knowing how much food is gonna be consumed this entire weekend. And we're gonna try to stay healthy, okay?
I'm the channel coach Greg Doucette, and I'm going to say it is not a waste to do cardio. Now, in Jesse's situation, when you are looking at the math, the amount of calories consumed versus the amount of calories that he's going to burn, it may not make that much of a difference. However, cardio, short for cardiovascular, cardio exercise is the best type of exercise to get your heart and your lungs stronger. Some people will go so far as to say that if I could only ever do one type of exercise again, they would prefer to do cardio versus weight training, because when you engage in cardio training, you are going to get your heart and your lungs in better shape, and that is going to lead to an increased quality of life and an increase just lifespan in general. So it is not a waste, Jesse. It is just that calorically speaking, yeah, it is those few hundred calories that you burn in about 20-30 minutes on elliptical is not going to do much. So again, guys, this also brings up the point that you are not really going to be able to out-train a bad diet. You eat too many calories, you are not really going to be able to do much to burn them off. You can eat way more calories with a lot less effort than you can burn them off. It's going to take a lot more time, a lot more energy, and it's going to burn you out.
Your question, would you like to come out to dinner tonight? Come on!
I gotta go to Hans.
If you want to come out tonight, you're more than welcome. We're going to the strip club.
After joking around with Alex, our Uber driver, we were able to have a serious conversation on obesity. I had to ask him a question.
What can I do to help? Is there anything I could do to help?
Basically, what you can do is just tell them they're gonna die. If you don't fix your life, you're gonna die.
After hearing those words come out of Alex's mouth, it made me realize that this entire mission was a lot bigger than expected.
Jesse was joking around with his Uber driver, and then this conversation got very serious. And I can tell that Jesse wasn't expecting the answer, but it is true. The thing is, sometimes you just have to be blunt and tell them that they are going to die. Yeah, all of us are going to die, but our lifestyle, our dietary habits, our lifestyle habits can lead us to end up having a much shorter lifespan than expected. I know several people whose like their parents or their grandparents passed away at a much younger age than some of their ancestors, further up their family tree. They would have family members live into the 80s, 90s, even some into the hundreds. And then now some of them were passing away in the 70s or even 60s. They were having issues with diabetes, having issues with their heart, kidney issues. They were diabetic. I mean, they had just a bunch of issues, and then their last few years of their life was also particularly difficult. Many of them needed a healthcare provider to help them out with their activities of daily living. Even more unfortunate still is having lost a former colleague. He was a pretty cool guy, and had a heart attack in his 40s, left behind a wife and 2 children. He died at much too young of an age. and I'm sure his family misses him every day. And that's just, a sad reality. And that type of stuff happens, I think, more often here than in some of the other places in the country. So, like I said, guys, yeah, we're all going to die, but our lifestyle, our habits can either give us the opportunity to increase our chances to have a longer lifespan, or it can go the opposite direction and give us, bring up the risk that we're going to have a shorter lifespan.
Alex and I ordered some dinner, and he allowed me to ask him some personal questions.
So you went from 390 pounds to what are you at now?
Yeah, I'm at 288.
Are you trying to get lower, stay where you at? What's your goal?
I want to get lower. How I tell you about my friend Rudy?
Yes.
Same thing. He's 500 plus.
Really?
Yeah. He ended up in the hospital. And I told him I don't want you to die.
How long have you known Rudy?
It's been 11 years.
Oh, okay,
11
so like
years.
very close friend.
Yeah.
So you seeing that definitely changed the way your path was going.
My path, yes.
Do you think that you would have been going down that path as he is?
Oh yeah.
Really?
I was depressed. You can ask my wife. I was never happy.
I think it's really eye-opening to me, the struggles that people go through that like I've never seen.
I'm overweight, but I've controlled where I can walk. Like Rudy can't.
And you're
walk
also
anymore.
working on it.
Yeah.
Like you're working on yourself every day. That's amazing.
After hearing Alex's touching stories, it made me...
Now, as I mentioned earlier, Jesse is a really funny and entertaining guy, and you get to see his personality shine through in this video. Now, what I was not expecting was him to go as deep as he was going. He was really having a honest, awesome conversation there with his Uber driver, Alex. Now, Alex shared about how he lost over 100 pounds and how he wants to keep going. Shared about his friend Rudy, who was in a more grave situation than he was in. He was able to share about when he himself personally was feeling depressed. He never felt good. And he's, gone through, it sounds like he's gone through quite a journey. And I think it's really awesome that Jesse gets to meet, people where they're at. Sometimes people just need to share their story because those of us watching, can get inspired, can use it as a moment to reflect upon ourselves and experience some growth from having seen somebody else, share their story. So, this is really awesome. And he does go in deeper when he actually does get to meet with Rudy.
Rudy, my man! So first of all, I want to say thank you for being willing to do this. It's brave of you. It's awesome of you that you're going to be able to help so many people watching this. Questions. I want to ask you what your current struggles are.
Currently, I have trouble moving up and about. I got kind of sick, and then I fell, and then after that, it's just been trying to get back to normal of moving up and about and around.
What would you say to someone that could be going either down the path to be where you are right now in your struggles as sort of a source of hope or motivation to maybe have them steered in a direction that wouldn't put them in a hardship?
Sometimes you can't be afraid to reach out and go, hey, I've been dealing with this. Can we talk about this kind of thing? I just really need someone to hear me. Sometimes it just crushes you when you're by yourself.
Now, what can someone like myself with the platform that I have do or say or educate or whatever it might be to help others in the similar situations?
Something as easy as getting you groceries or something that you might not have been able to afford for your kid. When I first started the gym, I was real self-conscious because, like I said, I was 400 pounds. First thing that happened was some guy came up to me and he's like, hey, I'm not to be rude, but how big are you? And I told him. He's like, wow, okay. How long do you think you'll last here?
I just want to say, I'm so grateful that you were able to tell everyone your story and stuff.
No
It
problem.
means a lot to me, and I know this is going to hit a lot of people at home. Rudy, I appreciate it. Thank you very much, okay?
Alex found out about the condition that his best friend Rudy was in and made it a priority to find him and get him the help that he needed.
And I came into his life and I was not going to let him go. And I told him, I'm not going to let you, I don't want you to die. I'm not going to let you die this time.
And I want you to be relentless, and please don't give up. Because Alex needs you, and we need you. And we're counting on you. I
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
it.
Thank you.
First of all, I want to say thank you for introducing me to Rudy. Great person. I understand why you want to help him so much. But one thing I want to do for you, give you $500 to give it and help Rudy, help you, but I want to at least give back for what you've done for me for this video, but that's for you, for helping me on becoming even a better person. I appreciate you, Alex.
So Jesse got to speak with Rudy, with Alex's friend Rudy, with over 500 pounds, was bedridden, and yeah, he was really going in, just having a very deep conversation with Rudy as well. And Rudy did touch on a lot of important subjects. Thing is, he said that cannot be afraid to talk to somebody when you say that you know, to tell them that you've been struggling with something and you would like to talk about it. And that is very important. It does help a lot. It does help tremendously when you get to talk to somebody, talk to a friend. If you go to church, you know, you're man of faith, talk to a pastor. If you need to talk to a professional, talk to a professional, but don't let that stuff get bottled up inside. He talked about how it was very crushing being alone. One of the things that he talked about that really stood out to me was that when Jesse was talking about how he wants to use his platform, his big reach to help out others, then Rudy's answer was something that was still personal. That's how much he was affected. He was talking about, well, you could do something as simple as just get me groceries or get somebody in their family groceries so that they can have some healthy food. So, like, you can tell Rudy has really been affected by the situation that he's in. And then lastly, I really do, and the last thing I want to comment about when it comes to Rudy is that it was very concerning to hear the issue that he went with when he tried going to the gym. Somebody asked him how big he was, and then asked him how long did he legitimately think he was going to continue going there. Now, for my fellow gym veterans, we've been working out for years, and I just want to say, guys, look, we don't feel intimidated anymore when we go to the gym, but at one point, a lot of us did. And there are a lot of people right now that are intimidated to go to the gym. They feel like they are going to be judged. They feel like they don't belong. They feel that, some of them low-key feel that somebody might just film them and put them on social media as a gym film. And the thing is that I truly believe that if they are paying their dues, they are following the rules, they are being respectful of the equipment and the members there, then they have every right to be there, just as you, me, Olympia competitors, Olympia champions, celebrities, whomever. They have every right to be there. And if we can't be positive about them being there, then let's just be neutral. Just give them their space. Let them push themselves, enjoy the workout. Let's not be somebody who is going to make them feel self-conscious. Let's not be somebody who is going to add to them feeling like they're out of place, that add to their feelings of intimidation. They don't belong there. If they want to be there, they belong there. Let's treat them as such, guys. Let's give them the dignity and respect that they deserve. Remember, all of us were beginners at one point. And we've been doing this for years and years and years. Think back to the time when you first started, and you know you are way better now than you were back then. You are a lot less awkward now than you were back then. Hopefully you're a lot more confident now than you were back then. And, let's just be positive, guys, because there is more than enough negativity to go around, especially somebody that has found themselves to be in a situation where their health may not be the best. Let's be positive, or let's at least be neutral.
I put on 2 pounds in one day. That's insane. Today we're here at Harper Cook Nutrition and Fitness. We're gonna be meeting up with a professional dietitian and nutritionist here in the local McAllen area. And we're gonna be getting to the bottom and the root problem of this obesity problem here in McAllen from a professional. Let's get inside and figure out what's going on. McAllen, Texas is rated #1 for the most obese city in America. Do you think that stands true?
Definitely there are some things that being closer to the border impacts, and we have a bigger impact here in our area.
What about the food makes it unhealthy here?
Right, so I mean, it's good. It's good
It's
food.
very good.
They put a lot of love and a lot of time and effort into what they're cooking. You come to the US, you're exposed to a whole new things. Now you're adding cheese, you're supersizing, there's sides, and just the way of life over there. They tend to walk more. They tend to be more active.
Wow,
so
I didn't think about that.
You're eating more, but you're also burning more.
Oh my gosh. How can you and I help people dealing with these problems? How can we prevent it? How can we attribute maybe knowledge or anything? Like, what can we do?
I think it's very important to start early. Your health is a priority. Your health is gonna catch up with you later on. You can have foods. It's the excess of foods that starts to become an issue. When children see their parents exercising, making their health a priority, setting time aside to get right, spiritually, physically, mentally, the children will be more likely to follow along.
So Brandon seems like a really awesome guy, really knows his stuff. He made some really great points. You can have food, it's just the excess of foods. The thing is, guys, having worked in the fitness industry myself, you can very easily say that food is fuel and you should treat it as such. But again, we are humans, we're people, and we have years and decades worth of habits, of eating certain foods, living a certain way. So most people are not going to be able to 100% cut out the quote unquote bad foods and just eat 100% quote unquote clean. So this is where you start eating some more nutritious foods, some more like fresh fruits and vegetables. And then that way you're a little bit more full, and that way you eat less of the foods that are more calorically dense, but you don't completely cut them out. And then that way you also feel like you can enjoy yourself. And another big point that he made was that you need to start young. You need to start people young. When children see that their parents are active, when they are consciously making an effort to eat healthier, those habits are going to be instilled in them. So this is something that I do try to be aware of. My wife and I try and be very aware of, because we have 3 amazing children. They have a lot of energy. They are growing way too fast. And we just want to make sure that they are healthy. So they will get treats, every now and then, but it is not something that we do on a daily basis. We don't ever let them have things like soda, and we limit their junk food consumption, and we just have them eat, healthy food most of the time. We do like to take them to parks. We like to play with them. We just want them to be active, and they just see that they see us exercise, and sometimes, they want to join in with us. So, they see that mommy and daddy enjoy exercising. These are things that are fun to do. That eating healthy or healthier is something that is just normal. This is not anything that we ever try and show that it is a punishment or it is bad, it is anything that is lacking, but these are things that are actually fun and good for you.
After finally being able to meet with Mayor Villalobos, I wasted no time and asked him some questions.
Did you know that McAllen is ranked #1 for most obese in the country?
That's what we've read. And yes, and I think one of the issues we have is a lack of education a lot of the times. Then the Hispanic community a lot of the times has not been too much into fitness. It's starting to change.
What do you think is the next step for McAllen to not be ranked #1?
Well, that's going to take about a lot of effort by the people themselves, because no matter what we do, if they themselves don't do it, nothing's going to change.
Now, I want to propose something to you, and I think it's a brilliant idea.
As long as it's not marriage.
No. Well, will you marry me? No, I'm kidding. I want to propose to have a National Jesse James West Day in McAllen. I think it'd be an awesome day where everyone is fit and it's promoting fitness for an entire 24 hours. What do you think about that?
I think anything, whether it's Jesse James or anybody else, as long as you're promoting, it's important.
So you're thinking we could do a Jesse James West Day?
I think there's a very good possibility.
I think yes. I think that would be awesome. I thought I wasn't going to be able to get this interview with you, and I'm glad I did. I think it's awesome. I think we just became best friends.
Excellent.
I am searching for a dad, so if you'd like to be my dad, let me know.
I've done that before, so as long as you behave.
Okay, sounds good. All right. Oh wait, I have one more thing. Can you just tell the camera to stay relentless?
Stay relentless.
Not bad. Peace!
I'm going to leave it right there. I really do like that saying, stay relentless. Jesse did get to meet with Mayor Villalobos, the mayor of the city of McAllen, and he proposed a National Jesse James West Day. So I think that would be pretty fun. I think that would be pretty cool, because I would like to see Jesse James, come back. And hey, Jesse, there are other gyms that you can go to. Gold's Gym and TrueFit, are good gyms. I do have a membership to TrueFit. I also train people out of RE Fitness, and we are going to have one of the largest indoor parkour gyms open up in the next month or two, Kacy Athletics. So there are plenty of places that you can come and work out. You can be my personal guest, and you can work out with us there, Jesse. And my final message to you and my final thoughts on the video is that when I first saw the title, I was just a little apprehensive, a little concerned. Um, but the thing was, Jesse was super respectful of everybody and, our area. You got to know our area a little bit better. You really got to dive deep with Rudy and Alex, and I thought that was fantastic. That it was fantastic to get some insight, into their stories. Rudy and Alex, if you're watching, thank you very much for sharing your stories. I am confident that people watching have been positively impacted and are probably making some changes in their health and their lifestyle, having been inspired watching you guys. So I really hope that you guys do get to keep up with your fitness journey and reach whatever health goals that you have for yourselves. Jesse, you rock, man. It's very much appreciated to see you go, much deeper than what you've gone before. All of your content is fantastic, but this just shows, another side. It shows evolution in your content. Just keep up the great work, man. Keep up the great work. Appreciate all of the time, effort, and energy you put into all of your content, man. You rock. I do hope to see you here in the future, and maybe we can meet up.